Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is critical race theory. Now, this is a new terminology that come out not that long ago. I'm not even for sure what it means, but the reason why I'm making this topic on this channel is because of the people who's attacking critical race theory. And I see black men, they're vehemently denouncing CRT. I had seen one father have his own daughter on there telling her that he's going to teach his child to love everybody. Color don't matter. And this other fool that's was posted on Graham Allen show, or he tagged him or whatever it was, and Graham Allen is this right wing conservative. Anytime he come across some buck broke Negro talking like, black people problems are caused by black people, you know, he hold them up as an example for the world to see. Him and Candace Owens together, skinning and grinning. People like him disgust me, but I'm gonna get on him on another video. But the thing that I want to tell you is what they're saying about critical race theory, and more importantly, what they're not telling you about it. With this one guy, he was talking about how critical race theory teach children how to hate each other, black and white children. But what they don't tell you, I ain't never come across nobody that's teaching black children to hate white children. You know, I'm about preparing our children. I'm about telling them the truth. And white people, or puppets of white people, the truth, is hate, but because they hate the truth. You don't see animals that's being attacked and killed by other animals just ignoring them when they come in their presence. They scurry from them. They hide. When they tell their offspring, that's not teaching hate. That's preparing them that you want your children to survive. You want them to live. You tell them who to avoid, who to associate with. I've watched many National Geographics. You see monkeys and you see deer or antelope grazing together. Why? Because they have a common enemy. Lion, tiger, cheetah. And if one see it, they'll warn the other. Monkeys and antelope and deer, they don't attack each other. So they can eat and socialize in peace. But when a third comes, that's a danger to both. When the monkeys see it or the antelope see it, they warn everybody. That's not hate. That's freaking common sense. And to sit up here and think that these monkeys or these antelope should be like, oh, it's just another animal, don't worry about it. No, they don't do that, and neither should we. He was talking about what teaching white people that, or teaching white kids that they have it better just because they're white. Which is true. Whether you want to hear it or not, that's true. White people, when they're birthed into the world, they generally have it better than black children that's birthed into the world. And that can change, but we got to get our act together. But what they don't tell you is the reason why white people have it better than blacks is because they own the government. They own the businesses and industries. They own the economy. Whatever they want to be in life, they have the industries, the finance, and the government behind them to help them realize it. So black people telling their children that they can be whatever they want to be with no political backing, no economic backing, no business or industry back. How do you do that? How do you do that? Soon as a white person walk into a bank, they automatically assumed that they got the credit. They have to prove they don't. Soon my black when I'm walking to a bank, I got to prove everything. I better not leave a document at home or I better have all my I's dotted and T's crossed. Whites don't have to do that in general. You know, he's talking about how he got his medical degree. He got 2 medical degrees. So how can black people be oppressed if he got 2 medical degrees? You know, the thing that, but what they don't tell you is, black man, take that medical degree, well, take both of them, and then try to start your own hospital. Give it about 5, 10 years. See how far that gets you. You're going to always be working for somebody. Now, you give a white guy 2 medical degrees, trust me, he'll have a clinic, he'll have a hospital, he'll have something that he owns, that he controls his own fate. You're going to always be attached to somebody who can come in and fire you at any minute. Even though you may have more education than him, I've seen it happen too many times. Your education don't mean anything if you don't have ownership and control over your job or your way of life. So, you know, I don't want to hear because one person got a degree, that means that black people are not oppressed. You know, then you go on talking about something. I got 2 medical degrees. No dad in the house. I started from the bottom. You know, I had to work. I had to struggle. Blah 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 blah. What they don't tell you is, white people don't generally start out like that. White people don't generally start off at the bottom. White people don't generally have single parent homes. White people don't generally have to, you know, work at McDonald's or bar 10 to pay for college. You know, so you working to get what you got, I'm proud of you, bruh. But again, that's no badge of honor. That's not to say that this system is not racist. You know, you had to work hard, but your working hard started way further back than what whites had to. You know, and you want to use this accomplishment to try to seem like you better than the rest of black people. But the one thing, you'll never be accepted by whites. As long as you sit up here making yourself look like a fool, talking about how this is an equal society, and because white people are surrounding you during this video, clapping and applauding and smiling, you really think they're going to accept you in their community? You know, but like I said, anytime you got some buck broke Negro, Graham Allen, quick to put him on his format, you know. But what critical race theory, what the critics of critical race theory be saying is, you know, not one white person ever tried to stop me from you know, going to school. They never physically grabbed me. They never told me I couldn't do this. They never told me I couldn't do that. You know, and which is sad. But what they don't tell you is, you get your degrees, you get your education, you can do a lot of things, but try to do something that whitey don't want you to do. And trust me, the white person that will stop you, you'll never see them. They'll be hidden in the grassy knoll somewhere, or prepped up in some window 3/4 of a mile away. You know, You will never see the white person that want to stop you. I've had friends and people I talk to all the time, and whenever we talk on race or our people or whatever, and they listen to me, the first thing they say to me, Jonathan, they gonna kill you. I hate to say that. I had my insurance man. He was like, Mr. Green, I hate to tell you this, but they gonna kill you. And then they don't return your calls no more because they're fearful. They see you putting videos out here. They hear you telling the truth, and they don't even want to be associated with you. But yet you still going to work for them. But yet you still won't build your own. You see, it's not about a white person stopping you. It's about the climate that black people live up under. We eat, white people eat. We thirst, white people thirst. They have businesses and industries that can service their hunger and need for refreshment. We don't. So if this is an equal society, where's our businesses and industries? Why do we got to keep going to whites to feed our hunger, to quench our thirst? Why don't we have it ourselves? If this one black guy with his 2 medical degrees is the key or the proof that racism don't exist, that there's no boogeyman, where's our businesses and industries at? Wouldn't you like to, at one point or another, say, no, thank you, no, we can do that ourselves? It'll never happen, not until we come together, and like I say, if you want to continue down the path that you're on right now, of always being, told what you can do, always having to seek permission of what you can do, you don't have to do anything. You can keep doing what you're doing right now. But if you want to be on the path of self-determination, the path of independence, a path of being an adult, then there's some things that you have to do. Well, where we at right now, whites will never do anything to put you in a position where you can compete with them politically, economically, business, whatever, nothing. This is why they keep tossing you little bones with this Juneteenth, which is nothing. It doesn't change our position. It doesn't create any jobs. Only thing it's going to do is open more avenue for whites, because now they're going to start selling all types of Juneteenth memorabilia, shirts, hats, and all that stuff. And blacks are going to take the majority of their money straight to these white businesses. And who's it going to benefit? But yeah, we still got this one Negro with the 2 medical degrees. But like, see, don't start with this BS. And the guy was further talking about how black people telling other black people that whitey won't let you do this and whitey won't let you do that, But the thing is, what they don't tell you is how many black towns has there been? Black communities. What happened to them? How many black leaders have been killed because they tried to take blacks on another path? Nah, just answer. Who killed them? And I know a lot of these cowards, a lot of these fools, well, a black man killed Malcolm X. Who was pulling the strings? Whatever we do to our people, trust me, this is not consistent to the way we live prior to being enslaved. Only after the process of robbing us of our culture, our heritage, our knowledge. We've had African proverbs. When you read them, they're beautiful. And it makes you wonder what happened to a society, or how could a group of people that, when you see today fighting, bickering, stealing from each other, killing each other, how could these people come from these African proverbs? Something had to intervene to change these people's direction to end up like this. And the answer is Whitey. It's white people that come in between. Had they never intervened, we wouldn't be doing this to each other now. But and there's nothing Whitey gonna do to put us back to where we were before. So keep that in mind. You know, um, and then they love bringing up Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said that um, he didn't want to be judged by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. And that's true. That's exactly what he said. But what they don't tell you is white people killed him too. When he started talking about black people getting their check, when he started talking about he led his people into a house on fire, segregation was bad. When he started talking that, they killed him. So, you know, and before he was alive, when he was alive, they was calling him all kind of communists, socialists, and all this other stuff. They wasn't happy with Martin Luther King, but as soon as they kill him, now they don't mind quoting him. They don't mind putting schools and streets in his name. See, this is that flip-flop mentality they have. When you're alive and breathing, they hate you, but as soon as you're dead, they love you. This is how white people are. And in closing out, the guy was talking about how CRT is harming children. Critical race theory is harming children. And not preparing your children is harming children. When you don't tell your children the truth, and you keep telling them that whites are our friends and we don't have to do anything, just love. Generation after generation after generation of our children will be lost. They'll never live in an environment where they determine their own way. They'll never have ownership and control of the businesses and industries that service their community. They'll never be self-governed, self-reliant, self-sufficient. They'll always be the sidekick. You come up with an idea for an invention or industry change, a shift or whatever. What you do, you run it right to Whitey. The next thing you know, they build another plant. Just off your idea alone. Do you get compensation for that? No. So I don't want to hear that. If we don't take control over our lives, somebody else always will. And I want these black fathers, I don't know what your motivation is, but I'm going to tell you right now, stop lying to your children. Stop being cowards in front of your children. Telling them all they got to do is love. I ain't never seen a fight ended by you just loving your enemy. I don't care where you hear it from. Because whites ain't never tried to use love. When I think about Woodstock back in the 60s, you had 500,000 white people, all of them preaching, give peace a chance, love this, love that. This was back in the 60s. You see no sign of their impact today. No businesses, no industries, no areas, no cities, no towns, nothing. If it wasn't for the history books, you wouldn't even have known a movement like that even took place. Why is that? Because when you try to teach our children that children don't see color, hate is taught, all you gotta do is love. That's true for a moment. But the fact of the matter is, white people do not work outside of their interests. So you have 400, 500,000 whites talking about give peace a chance, give love a chance, and blah, blah, blah. But as these teenagers, mostly teenagers, young adults, started growing up and started coming to the realization of what their actions meant, sharing power with blacks, less resources, less power, less money for them. You think they continued that trend? You don't see a sign of that movement today. So you could teach your children all you want that black kids and white kids are equal and all that crap. I'm gonna teach mine, and whoever watch this page, I'm gonna suggest that you teach your children. White people do not work outside of our interests. We the only ones that do that. We don't build no businesses and industries to provide for our needs. Everything that we need as a people is outsourced. We can't control the cost of anything. There isn't a business on the planet that can price, market, if you don't in-house something. I've worked for many businesses. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? I ask. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Well, the more we can do in-house, the more money we can save. Because as soon as we pay somebody else to do this, there's no telling what the guy gonna charge. There's no telling what. We outsource everything. What we eat, we look at all the food that we consume. We can't even own our own chicken restaurant. You know, look at the clothes. This is the culture that blacks live up under. White people would never live like this. So if critical race theory is teaching black people to wake up and tell the truth, I'm behind it at 100%. I'm not gonna be out here telling my kids, to love your enemy and don't have no resources of our own. The time for our people outsourcing everything should be over. But before I end this video, let me say this. Just ask yourself, would you want to live in an environment where you own the businesses and industries that provide for your community? Would you want to live in an environment like that? And if there is no oppression, like these critics of CRT, Graham Allen and all these other buck broke Negroes, if there is no oppression and we are equal to whites, even though we don't own no business or industries of our own, they own them all, then just ask them one thing. Why don't you trade places with black people? And then let me know what they tell you about that. They'll never do it. But like I say, just ask them. See what they say. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this video, please share it. And if you like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.